I'd like to thank the Tesla board for their immense support. We have a fantastic board, fantastic group of shareholders.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today, we're counting down our picks for the public figures who consistently find themselves at the epicenter of global debate, igniting difficult discussions, widespread criticism, and sometimes passionate defense.
То ли пришли туда к границам США, или к границам Великобритании, или куда. К нам пришли.
Number 10. Kanye West, or Ye, musician.
God show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down.
Few figures in modern pop culture have navigated such a dramatic and public fall from grace, leaving a trail of both artistic brilliance and profound controversy in their wake. Formerly celebrated as a groundbreaking musician and fashion icon, Ye's increasingly erratic behavior and alarming public statements have transformed him into a pariah for many.
Well, Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke dropped the visa bombshell late this afternoon, explaining that Kanye West was no longer welcome in Australia after releasing a song called Heil Hitler.
You're going to have a song and promote that sort of Nazism? We don't need that in Australia.
His infamous DEFCON 3 on Jewish people tweet in late 2022, alongside subsequent anti-Semitic rants and admiration for figures like Adolf Hitler, led to widespread condemnation. This wasn't merely a fleeting media blip. The remarks resulted in major brands like Adidas, Gap, and Balenciaga severing lucrative partnerships, costing him billions and significantly impacting his business empire.
You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. The Jew, I love everyone. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
Number 9. Andrew Tate, influencer.
On your X account, to millions of people, you've said this: stop letting women vote. Stop giving women position as judges. Stop giving women political appointments. As soon as only men run government and law, all the problems disappear. Women now understand that without male protection, they're nothing but victims.
Bursting onto the scene with an undeniable yet deeply unsettling magnetism, this self-proclaimed misogynist and former kickboxer became a towering figure in the realm of online controversy. Andrew Tate's rise to prominence was fueled by his inflammatory declarations, often promoting traditional, highly restrictive gender roles and openly denigrating women, which resonated with a segment of young male audiences.
Society was built by evil, misogynistic men, and then these feminists came along and destroyed it all. I believe in protecting women because I don't believe they can fight. If that makes me a misogynist, so be it.
No,
women
the reason
like men who protect
let me
them.
respond.
No woman wants to be seen as a man's equal
Andrew,
in the realm of martial combat.
However, this controversy escalated significantly when, in December 2022, he was arrested in Romania on suspicions of human trafficking and forming an organized crime group. These deadly serious allegations cast a shadow of alleged criminality over his polarizing online persona, intensifying debates about internet influence and accountability.
The documents claim he threatened one with a gun. On one occasion, putting a gun in her face, it says, and then pointing it at her while saying things like, "I'm a boss, I'm a G. You're going to do as I say, or there'll be hell to pay."
Number 8. Xi Jinping, General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party.
And now to Hong Kong, where today the city reeled from the effect of a new national security law imposed yesterday by the central government in Beijing. After nearly a quarter century of relative freedom, there is a new reality in Hong Kong, and there's a new reality, too, for the U.S. as it deals with the rising power of China.
China's President Xi Jinping operates with a level of authority and influence that few global leaders can rival, but his tenure is deeply mired in controversy. Domestically, his aggressive crackdown on dissent and the consolidation of power have drawn comparisons to Mao Zedong, with a pervasive surveillance state and extensive censorship stifling individual freedoms. The egregious human rights abuses targeting the Uyghur Muslim minority in Xinjiang, including reports of mass detention, forced labor, and cultural erasure, have been widely condemned internationally as genocide.
When Matt Rivers' report on the camps aired on China, on CNN, well, as you see there, the screen went black. CNN was allowed back on after the piece aired. As Matt Rivers explains, Chinese authorities made his investigation into these camps very difficult.
On the global stage, Xi's assertive wolf warrior diplomacy, China's expansionist claims in the South China Sea, and economic policies often labeled as debt trap diplomacy through the Belt and Road Initiative have ignited geopolitical tensions.
You don't have to be a Hong Kong citizen to be punished under this law. So it is so over the top that what it really tells us is that Xi Jinping is a very different type of Chinese leader than his predecessors.
Number 7, Joe Rogan, podcaster.
But all these other government payments that are available that are connected to this Social Security number, it seems like if you just chased that all down, you would find the widespread fraud. You would find where it's going.
Yes, but the root of the problem is the Social Security Administration database.
The modern media landscape is increasingly shaped by podcasting, and no individual wields as much clout in this space as Joe Rogan. The host of The Joe Rogan Experience has cultivated an enormous audience, attracted by his long-form interviews that often explore taboo subjects with a wide range of guests, from scientists to comedians and conspiracy theorists. However, this open-ended format has repeatedly landed him in hot water.
What's the thought process behind this? Is it legit? Because a lot of people are like, finding Hitler, get the fuck out of here. They found Hitler, he died.
Yeah, I mean...
Not really?
We don't know.
Right.
I mean, this isn't like Ancient Aliens.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, Rogan became a flashpoint for spreading misinformation about vaccines and treatments, leading to calls for boycotts and the removal of his content from Spotify by prominent artists like Neil Young. One of the principal architects of what some call the online manosphere, Rogan's outsized influence on young men only continues to grow.
Well, it's like the Pink Floyd line, living life of quiet desperation. I mean, that just terrifies me.
That's Thoreau's quote, that most men live lives of quiet desperation. It's one of my favorite quotes ever because it's true. And I've been that guy.
Oh my God.
You're just in this world where you just can't wait to just run away.
And how do people get stuck there? How do you think they get stuck there?
Bills.
Number 6, Nick Fuentes, political commentator.
This week, a task force dedicated to fighting anti-Semitism reportedly decided to sever ties with the conservative Heritage Foundation. It comes after the think tank's president, Kevin Roberts, defended Tucker Carlson's interview with a far-right anti-Semitic activist. This infighting has laid bare a growing schism within conservative circles over how to address anti-Semitism.
As the founder of the America First Political Action Conference, or AFPAC, Fuentes has unapologetically embraced and promoted white nationalist and anti-Semitic ideologies. His rhetoric, which often includes praise for figures like Adolf Hitler and calls for a Christian nationalist government, is widely condemned as hate speech.
Maybe it's not gas chambers. Maybe it's not an extermination. Maybe these were people who still unfairly and in a discriminatory way were locked up for being Jewish, but maybe these technological horrors are exaggerated. Maybe the numbers are exaggerated.
The controversy surrounding Fuentes intensified when he was observed dining with then former President Donald Trump and Kanye West at Mar-a-Lago in November 2022. Drawing widespread criticism from both sides of the political spectrum for mainstreaming extremism. Despite being banned from numerous social media platforms and payment processors, Fuentes continues to command a following, primarily through alternative online channels, demonstrating the persistent challenge of combating radicalization.
Ultimately, I think the whole political system is just based around women never being accountable for any of their choices. Ultimately, that seems to be that's what abortion is.
Yeah, of course.
Because 99% of abortions are elective. So they say it's an unplanned pregnancy. You had sex out of wedlock with someone you didn't intend to have kids with. So now we have to kill the kids in the womb.
Number 5, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew, Duke of York.
While there are no new claims in the book, it makes for a harrowing read, which paints a picture of a web of rich and powerful people abusing young women. Prince Andrew has consistently denied any wrongdoing and says he doesn't recall meeting Virginia Giuffre. But yesterday, the Metropolitan Police confirmed it was actively looking into reports that Prince Andrew tried to obtain personal information about her through his personal protection team.
The British royal family, typically a bastion of traditional decorum, found itself embroiled in a scandal of unprecedented proportions with the unraveling of Prince Andrew's association with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The Duke of York's friendship with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, coupled with allegations from Virginia Giuffre that she was trafficked by the prince when she was a minor, shattered his public image.
Virginia Giuffre's full posthumous memoir, obtained by the BBC in a London bookshop this weekend, describes how she felt she might die a sex slave at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein and his circle. She says she had sex with Prince Andrew on 3 separate occasions, including once with Epstein and approximately 8 other young women.
The subsequent civil lawsuit filed by Giuffre, which was settled out of court for an undisclosed sum, ultimately led to his older brother King Charles III stripping him of his military titles and royal patronages. Though he has always vehemently denied the accusations, his association with Epstein has made him one of the most controversial members of the royal family in living memory.
Now, this strikes me as extremely serious and draws the palace perilously close to what was going on those years ago. What did they know about Andrew and his activities, and why didn't they do something about it? Those are the questions which are now being asked.
Number 4, Elon Musk, entrepreneur.
You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, important, some are not. But this one, this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
A visionary entrepreneur, a titan of industry, and a self-proclaimed free speech absolutist, Elon Musk's every move seems to generate a whirlwind of discussion, adoration, and intense criticism. His high-profile acquisition of Twitter, which he rebranded as X, ignited a firestorm of controversy as he dismantled previous content moderation policies, reinstated numerous banned accounts, and presided over a significant exodus of advertisers and users.
Andrew Anglin, the founder of one of the most influential neo-Nazi websites, just one of hundreds of formerly banned users, now back on the platform, after Musk's Thanksgiving tweet that amnesty begins next week. Meanwhile, the billionaire cutting the company staff, including those dedicated to monitoring abuse and hate speech.
This isn't even mentioning his brief but scandal-ridden tenure at the White House's Department of Government Efficiency, a role that saw him take a chainsaw to the American government. Beyond X and politics, his leadership at Tesla has drawn scrutiny over labor practices and safety concerns, while his influence on cryptocurrency markets through seemingly casual tweets has raised eyebrows.
In just the last hour, we are learning that the person who is already one of the world's richest people, if not the richest, Elon Musk, could become now like the richest by a mile. Maybe the world's first trillionaire after 3/4 of Tesla's shareholders just late today voted yes on a new pay package for Musk. That's a meeting that just wrapped up.
Number 3, Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel.
Thousands of Israelis demonstrated outside Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's residence in Jerusalem on Saturday. Protesters filed through streets closed to traffic, waving flags, banging drums, and blowing horns. They shouted chants to replace the 71-year-old conservative just 3 days before the country's 4th election in 2 years.
Serving multiple terms as prime minister, Netanyahu's political career has been a roller coaster of high-stakes diplomacy, intricate coalition building, and persistent legal battles. He has faced ongoing corruption allegations, including charges of bribery, fraud, and breach of trust, which have deeply polarized Israeli society and fueled widespread protests against his governance. His efforts to overhaul Israel's judicial system sparked unprecedented mass demonstrations, with critics arguing the move threatened the country's democratic foundations.
Today, the president of Brazil, by comparing Israel's war in Gaza against Hamas, a genocidal terrorist organization, to the Holocaust, President Silva has disgraced the memory of 6 million Jews murdered by the Nazis and has demonized the Jewish state like the most virulent anti-Semite. He should be ashamed of himself.
Furthermore, his hardline stance on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict The expansion of settlement in the West Bank and his leadership during the devastating war in Gaza have drawn intense international condemnation, exacerbating an already fraught situation.
Much of the world no longer remembers October 7th. But we remember. Israel remembers October 7th.
He condemned countries, including Canada, for recognizing a Palestinian state.
It will be a mark of shame on all of you.
Number 2. Vladimir Putin, President of Russia.
Мы на восток, сказали нам в 90-е годы. Ну и чего? Надули. Просто нагло обманули. 5 волн расширения НАТО.
For over 2 decades, Vladimir Putin has cast a long, chilling shadow over global geopolitics, transforming Russia into an adversarial force against Western democracies. His controversial reign is defined by a ruthless consolidation of power, the suppression of internal dissent through jailing or allegedly poisoning opponents, and the systematic dismantling of democratic institutions within Russia.
Navalny's mother saw him Monday and said he was in good spirits. Yet somehow Alexei Navalny, Russian President Vladimir Putin's fiercest and most energetic critic, dropped dead suddenly at a penal colony in Siberia. Prison officials say Navalny went for a walk but felt unwell and quickly lost consciousness.
The brutal invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 escalated his controversial standing to an unprecedented level, leading to widespread international sanctions, accusations of war crimes, and humanitarian crisis of immense proportions. His defiance of international norms and his willingness to use military force to achieve his objectives make him arguably the most feared leader on the world stage.
О чем речь? Ну поймите же вы в конце концов. Не мы кому-то угрожаем. Мы что ли пришли туда, к границам США? Или к границам Великобритании? Или куда? К нам пришли.
So the two major goals for Vladimir Putin is one, to kind of keep Ukraine close to Russia, and number 2 is to keep Ukraine away from the West.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Donald Trump, President of the United States.
He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent.
Love him or loathe him, it's virtually impossible to deny that America's 45th and 47th president remains the most uniquely controversial personality of our time. His first presidency was a continuous maelstrom of unprecedented events, from 2 impeachments to daily Twitter storms that shattered political decorum.
We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women, and we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them.
In his second term, many believe he has crossed new thresholds of controversy. Mass firings and purges within the federal bureaucracy, openly rewriting election rules, relentless attacks on the judiciary and independent agencies, deployment of federal forces in domestic settings, and brazen conflicts of interest between his business interests and the presidency. All of it cements his place as the most polarizing figure in modern memory.
President, what did Jeffrey Epstein mean in his emails when he said you knew about the girls?
I know nothing about that. They would have announced that a long time ago. It's really, what did he mean when he spent all the time with Bill Clinton, with the president of Harvard, who you know who that is, Summers, Larry Summers, whatever his name is, and all of the other people that he spent time with.
Do you agree with our choices, or did we miss someone whose very name causes a stir? Let us know in the comments below.